All right. We're talking about TVs. Let's talk about the old style cathode ray tube tape TVs. Today is more of a play day for the first couple of hours. I just want to build up your backgrounds first before we begin. All right, guys, Zenith. Remember this company. All right, so it took them about 10 years to get back to the United States.
Careful. That's a Zenith digital TV you're looking at. From big to small to flat to thin, you can't escape the power of Zenith digital.
Okay, so let's talk about the quality of this commercial. I wonder why it didn't register in the United States. So what is it that you guys are trying to do? It took them 10 years. They went to Korea, they developed the TVs. They came in late to the market. They tried to get their market share in the United States, and this is the commercial. Evidently, the quality of the pictures are so lifelike.
Careful.
While people are pissing at the urinals, they forget to unzip themselves.
That's a Zenith digital TV you're looking at. From big to small to flat to thin, you can't escape the power of Zenith digital.
That kind of dumbass commercials didn't work in the United States, so they went out of business. All right. Old style cathode ray TVs. How do they work? All right, so we talked about how you generate the electron beam. All right, so you got your capacitor right here. And then you shoot it out. And notice that by using electromagnets, you can trace the beam onto the screen a couple hundred times per second. That's it. That's the way the TVs used to work. Having said that, let me ask you two crucial questions. You will be able to answer one of the questions. The second one, you may or may not be able to answer. It's a knowledge-based question. Who invented the light bulb? Or more like, who gets credit for inventing it? It's not the same. Who gets credit for inventing the light bulb? It's Edison, right? Did he invent the light bulb? Not really. He got the patent for it. That's the difference. A number of people did it. He got all the patents and then made sure that the patents were registered under his name. All right, Thomas Edison, everybody knows who he is. All right, a bigger question is, who invented the TV, television, electronic television? Which one is a bigger invention, guys? TV or the light bulb? All right, this is a dumbass question. I hope everybody knows the answer, right? Which one is a much bigger invention? Light bulb or the TV? Okay, guys, imagine this. Light bulb, you're able to turn on the light bulb. You got light, and you got wall that you're staring at. Nothing's happening on that wall. Life is boring. You may be forced to read a boring book, okay? And then you want to kill yourself after a while. That's your life. TV, now it's exciting, all right? You can watch baseball. You can watch soccer, which is a lot more interesting. You can watch things live. TV is everything. TV makes life interesting, all right? So that you don't turn to drugs. That's the nice thing about it, got it? So which one is a bigger invention? TV is. So given the fact that you kind of know the name, who's got the patent for the light bulb, you should definitely know the name of the guy who invented the TV, right? So he invented the TV because it's a much bigger invention. The name of the guy who invented the TV is?
Philo Farnsworth.
Okay, who said that?
Me.
Okay, how'd you know?
Google.
All right, go to hell. At least you Google something, go to hell. And this becomes possible because of the guy who invented the TV, right? You didn't look at the light bulb and get the answer. You Googled it. And what made Google possible is the fact that someone named Farnsworth, by the way, the first name is Philo, and you're thinking, I wonder if that's the name, I don't know the name. Number one, guys, you have no excuses. This guy's not Chinese, all right? He's definitely not European. He's not Mexican. He's not even Canadian, all right? He's from the freaking United States. You know, Thomas Edison, who contributed very little to your well-being at this point, aside from a light bulb and the electric chair in case you want to die at some point, all right? This guy made life interesting. Why is it that Philo Farnsworth is not known? You have to actually Google his name. I'm giving you guys a hard time. I was in the same boat like 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Chicago Tribune ended up writing a story on Philo Farnsworth. And I didn't know that, number one, it was one person who invented the TV. It wasn't a teamwork. Number two, it was invented in the United States. Number three, the guy did not get any credit for inventing it. Evidently, his name got suppressed from publication. And there's a reason. Number one, it was invented in the 1920s by someone who happens to be a farm boy.
Out of school, he headed to California for more research. He got some financial backers, and in 1927, in this loft in San Francisco, Philo Farnsworth made his first successful test of electronic television.
1927.
He was 21 years old.
21 years old. Is he a college graduate? Yes or no? Okay, no, more than likely not. Unless he was a genius starting school at 14 or 15. No, he's not a college graduate.
With him was his new bride, Penn.
Yeah, that's a good-looking chick.
The girl next door he'd married back in Utah. I'm trying to imagine what
Ooh, what happened? How the ravages of time
must have been like that day in that room when those first pictures appeared on that tube.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a big thrill. These first backers, one of them used to come in and he'd slap Phil on the back and say, well, you got the damn thing to work yet? So when we got this transmission, he was in L.A., and we sent him a wire saying the damn thing works.
Compared to all the unforgettable images TV has shown in the 72 years since that day, that very first transmission was definitely underwhelming.
This is where the picture was.
It consisted of nothing more than a straight line across the screen. But as Farnsworth fine-tuned the system, he transmitted Disney cartoons, a Mary Pickford movie, and for the backers, the moneymen, a drawing of a dollar sign.
Mr. Philo T. Farnsworth, shown at the right, is working on the image detector tube.
And it wasn't long before other people were looking over Farnsworth's shoulder, seeing dollar signs too, namely the big boys of broadcasting, RCA.
RCA owned all the patents for radio, and it was their ambition to own all the patents for everything that had to do with communications.
But Farnsworth had already won valuable patent approval for his TV system. RCA would either have to pay him enormous royalties to use his ideas or buy him out.
There was no way he would have considered that because that was his project.
There was a court fight with RCA that dragged on for years.
All right. Okay, guys, what the hell is going on here? You met the electronic television. RCA wants to buy him out. He says, no, absolutely not. He wants royalties. And the RCA says, no, instead we'll just sue you. All right, there are two problems I have with that one. How do you get sued? If somebody wants my Ford Tampa, if I say no, and then they say, well, if that's the case, we'll sue you. Is that the way the legal system works in the United States? Yes or no? Hello? Matthew, you're saying
Yes.
no, why? Is that how that works?
I don't think it should be.
No, guys, I don't care what you see in the press. The legal system does not work like that. You cannot say, hey, I want your Ford Tampa, and you say, no, well, I'll see it in court. You don't stand a chance. That's not how this works.
It depends on how much money you have.
Ian, I'm going to give you 5 points for that one. Yeah, you can harass people through the legal system, but it's not a winnable case, all right? So here's the situation. He says, no, what does he want? He wants royalties. RCA makes him an amazing offer. Guys, what do you want? Like $1 million? You have it. $5 million, you can have it. $100 million, you can have it. He says, no, I just want royalties. Are you nuts? Which one is a better deal, guys? $100 million or royalties?
What's the royalty percentage?
It's pretty big usually. For this one, royalties, you can have royalties for as long as you want, as far as I'm concerned. You invented TV, guys. It's not like a light bulb.
That's how George Lucas got rich. He got the merchandising rights for the Star Wars movies.
There you go. And what's your name?
Luke.
Yeah, there you go. George Lucas and Lucas. There you go. So moving forward. All right. So which one would you prefer? $100 million is a done deal, or do you want royalties? All right, guys, kind of, you know the answer, right? Royalties means that this guy would have been the richest person who ever lived. Imagine Bill Gates almost looking like a homeless person next to you. Literally, you would have been the richest person ever. This guy is not an idiot. He says royalties. No, I don't care. You give me $100 million, still the answer is no. $1 trillion, the answer is still no. He knows he can make a lot more than that. So he's being a selfish prick. All right, that's what he's being. All right, if you're being a selfish prick, what happens? Somebody beats you up. So RCA looks at him and says, oh, okay, we see what's going on. Evidently, RCA is not quite that helpless either. The reason why they're able to sue Farnsworth is because they already had a working prototype of a TV. All right, so this guy is nobody. He's not a college graduate. He's a farm boy, and somehow, boom, 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 he was able to come up with a working TV, right? Unexpected. Like Hollywood movie things work out. He's in San Francisco. The year is 1927. RCA, evidently, they thought of the same idea, and they did some real smart. They hired a real physicist with a PhD, someone who can think, well-educated. So this guy also comes up with a working model of a TV about the same time. So both of them file for patents, and then there's a court fight. Except here's the catch: the patent goes to Farnsworth. Evidently, Farnsworth came up with the idea earlier. How early? When he was in high school. This guy is 16 years old, doing a physics lecture. He's sitting way in the back. And he's actually designing the first electronic version of the TV in the back seat. After the lecture, he goes up to his teacher and says, hey, this is what I have. Do you think this might work? Teacher says, well, why don't you just put it up on the board, explain it to me, let me think about it. So Farnsworth puts the idea up on the board, explains it to the teacher, and the guy's completely clueless. He has no idea what Farnsworth is talking about. So to his credit, he copies down the information from the board, says, let me go talk to one of the physics professors in one of the local colleges, and now I'll get back to you. And then he talks to one of the physics professors. That physics professor says, this might work. Goes back to Farnsworth, says, try it. It should work, as far as the physics professor is concerned. So this high school teacher just keeps that piece of paper, and which is already dated. So there's a court fight, and then Farnsworth wins because he evidently came up with the idea earlier. And RCA does the following.
Farnsworth won, but he paid a heavy price.
I don't think that it did too much for my father's health. He was pretty worn out, actually.
By now, it was the late 30s. War was coming. Government approval of commercial TV would be put on hold, and the payoff for Philo Farnsworth was slipping away.
He said, it's going to be a long war, and I think my patents will have expired by the time it's over. And it really took it out of him because he just put his whole life force into getting television.
He was right. After the war, TV took off in America, just at the point Philo Farnsworth lost his exclusive patent rights.
Battery-powered transistorized TV.
Anybody could use his ideas now, free of charge, and they did.
He wouldn't even let us talk about television at all.
Even the word was a no-no in the house.
Yes.
He turned to other projects, spending more time with his family. He was 40 years old, worn out, disappointed, almost forgotten.
Well, he was on I've Got a Secret. Where the secret was.
Is this some kind of a machine that might be painful when it's used?
Yeah, sometimes it's most painful.
Well, he did get a carton of cigarettes for being on the show.
Here are your Winston, sir, and our eternal gratitude. I'd be out of work if it weren't for you. Thank you very much.
In 1969, 2 years before his death, Philo Farnsworth watched with the rest of the world as the Apollo 11 astronauts took his invention into space.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility.
When the men landed on the moon, they were using a special miniaturized Farnsworth image dissector to send the pictures back to us. And Phil says this makes it all worthwhile.
A statue of the kid from Beaver, Utah, now stands in the United States Capitol. The men who invented the damn thing that's inspired and bedeviled us all.
Many people said, well, that's simple, the television idea. Anyone could do it. But you see, anyone didn't. Philo Farnsworth did.
He didn't get a dime out of it. And the stuff that makes it worse, he didn't even get the recognition that he deserved for the most of his life. This is really unfortunate. At the very least, he should have won the Nobel Prize in Physics. And he should have been recognized. Evidently, what happened, RCA ended up suppressing his name from all the publications and whatnot. And until I saw that article 20 years ago in Chicago Tribune, I didn't even know who this guy was. Okay, those of you guys who are Futurama fans, obviously he's recognized in Futurama. This is Farnsworth. All right, welcome to the corporate America. All right, take a break for 10, be back within 10. All right, guys, let's go.
Taipei, Taiwan. Every father thinks his family is special, and Lin Yuzhang's entire family is magnetic. Spoons, coins, even an iron sticks to them, defying all obvious explanations.
All right, this is one of those things which is kind of weird. It's kind of a segue. Did you find it? What's the date on it? Are you kidding? When did we
Taiwan.
receive it?
Every
This is a segue.
Every father thinks his family is special, and Lin Yuzhang's entire family is magnetic. Spoons, coins, even an iron sticks to them.
And then someone taking physics, an engineering student, obviously, and then 10 years later, he emails me. He says, I don't understand. How is it possible that the people become magnetic? And they're still thinking about that.
Obvious explanation.
All right, guys, here's a dumbass question for you. Do you think that these family members are magnetic? Yes or no?
No.
Why not?
Family is magnetic. Spoons,
All right, if it's magnetic, obviously glass is not going to stick.
coins, even an iron sticks to them, defying all obvious explanations. Every father thinks his family is special, and Lin Yuzhang's entire family is magnetic.
Has nothing to do with magnetism. For whatever reason, their skins are fairly
coins,
sticky. It creates some kind of a suction.
Even an iron sticks to them, defying
so this has nothing to do with
all
magnetism.
obvious explanations.
Look, this nail is not a magnet.
No kidding, it's a nail.
Right, it won't pick up these metal paper clips, see?
Right, it's a nail.
But if I run the nail over this really strong magnet several times, the atoms inside the nail will begin to sort of line up in one direction.
And what does that mean?
Well, it means the nail can become a magnet, see?
All right, so
look, this...
why is it that the iron is so easily magnetizable?
A circular loop of electric current also creates a magnetic field of this form. And so does every proton, every neutron, and every electron in the universe.
All right, so the magnetism originates from
circular
atoms,
loop of
but then inside the
electric
atoms.
current also creates a magnetic field of this form. And so does every proton, every neutron.
Is
So
that what
what's-
a magnetic field sounds like?